Okay, so a quick synopsis of the pilgrimage. September 24th, Adiantum's going to do a mini pilgrimage. When I say mini, I mean teeny, mile and a half.
Just a pill.
But it's a fun thing for us because we're going to be learning as we go. We had a class with a little history on pilgrimages. We had a class where we learned how to make pilgrim pouches. Tonight, we are making walking staffs. We have a pile of about 30 sticks over here for those that want to play with them, and an assortment of knives that we're getting out in a minute. Alan is here. Alan is here with his draw stick and more expertise than I have for woodworking. And then next week, we will be doing leather shoes called bag shoes. Rod Navarre will be leading that class. If you're coming to the bag shoe class in person, connect beforehand. Let us know if you want to spend 10 bucks and buy leather to make your shoes. Rod Navarre will pick it up for you. If you have your own, yay. For folks that don't get this message, we'll have extra there if they want to buy it. Then somewhere before the 24th of September, we're going to learn how to do pewter tokens because pilgrims get tokens when they stop along the way. Tokens, walking sticks, shoes.
You have 2 shoes.
Tokens.
It's a shoe A and a shoe B.
Yes, we have two classes on shoes. We're going to stick in an extra meeting so that you got one class on making the pattern and one class on actually constructing the shoe.
And then
And then on September 24th at 11 a.m., we're going to meet in Springfield at Island Park and go from there to a beautiful old church that is now the public house in Springfield, where we will have a little lunch break. You can buy beverages and food if you choose, or you can bring your own. And then we are going from there to the Catholic Community Services Building, which was a church and is now a service outreach appropriate. And that will be a water stop, just a sit. And each stop, we're going to learn a little more. You get your token, you get your passport stamped. The final stop will be at Everett Memorial Methodist Church, the most beautiful medieval looking church with stained glass windows and what do they call it? Turrets. And it's just beautiful. We will have a mini celebratory medieval feast there to celebrate the end of our walk. So that's the nutshell version. All of the events have lots more detail being added to them all the time. So if you open the event and read it, you will get the information you're looking for. You can send me messages, but I'm busy getting ready for this. So please read, please read, please read. Okay, any questions about that little Cliff Note version? Crickets, okay. Moving on.
I do have one question. Now,
Okay.
what if you missed out on the past prep workshops for this? What's a good way to catch up?
All of our meetings are recorded, and that recording link is going to be underneath each of those events
It's on the YouTube.
in a YouTube. So if you go to Elantha YouTube, you can find that information.
Excellent. And is there going to be an event fee for this?
A what?
Event fee.
Event what?
Fee.
No, there's no fee for this. Come on. This is arts and sciences. If you want to spend $10 and get the leather for your shoes, that's a good idea. Okay, any other questions?
I thought the last walk was gonna be in October.
No, September 24th.
Okay, and that's Briar Road.
Yes, it is in conflict with another event.
And they put theirs on the calendar after we had ours scheduled.
So sorry about that,
That's
but
on them.
I tried.
I may go to Briar Oak.
She says she might go to Briar Oak.
In, Roseburg, yeah.
Catherine, are you there?
I'm right behind you.
It says OneDrive isn't signed in. I don't know what that means.
That has nothing to do with this. It's just
Okay.
because
So what we need tonight is a stick. If you don't have one in your hands here, Go pick one you want.
What's in Briar Oak on the 24th?
I have a pair of
Huh?
clippers if anyone needs them to
Cornet 17.
snip off, lay this on the table. Snip off bits.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Never mind. It doesn't conflict. I'm sorry. I like.
Oh, good. Briar Oak does not conflict with our,
Briar Oak and-
I have a knife.
Yeah, it's
I
September.
don't think that thing's sharp.
It is actually, be careful.
We're not going to
And
that.
nobody wants to go to that.
Okay, we're good.
I went digging around for knives to work on, and none of these are appropriate for woodwork, but it's what I have.
And none of them are that sharp.
No, they're not very
I
sharp.
understand that. I mean, if ideally I would have a Swiss Army knife to work with. Because at Girl Scout camp, I learned how to whittle my own roasting stick using a Swiss Army knife. So ideally I would have one of my own to work with, but I don't. So I completely understand you gotta work with what you got.
Start low.
Okay.
and
So
no, full.
as people here are gathering up their knives, their knives and their sticks, I have knives on the table. Be careful. I don't want to repair anyone.
Use that to work around the knots.
If you've been following along for the postings, you've seen photographs of art that showed pilgrims. This is a pilgrim's hat, essentially.
Cut these today.
And will we learn to make one of those?
We will not. We don't have time to get all those classes in before the pilgrimage, but you can certainly go online and learn how. You can also go online and purchase them from various vendors.
Yeah.
So Alan, I'm going to turn this camera on Alan. Yes, yes, because Alan has more expertise with woodwork than I do. If you look at the image on the top of this event, it shows a pilgrim with his walking stick. And I believe I have a photo of one here. He's laughing at me. Oh, my knives. Yes, he should laugh at my knives. I have kitchen paring knives. I have medieval decorative knives.
Knife choices.
I have what was available.
There.
I had it marked and now I can't.
How fast that went?
So this is the ultimate. This is what
Oh, okay.
you want if you've got a very healthy budget. This is a draw knife, and you just grab it with both hands and pull the blade toward you. And then with both hands on the handle, it's very easy to control the depth.
Yeah.
There's something similar called a spoke shave, which removes a very small amount each time, because it's really more of a plane than it is a knife. So
Yeah.
if you have a spoke shave and a draw knife like this, then you'll be
Yeah, the other
done in no
thing-
time at all. But if you're
A draw knife and a
using,
spoke shave would
either-
be perfect.
Bowie knives or paring knives, it'll probably take a bit more time.
It's going to take time,
Yes.
especially if you're using any of my knives. Catherine's right, they're not very sharp,
Oh dear. Well,
but they're better than nothing. And I did say, bring a knife.
They're better than
indeed.
nails.
Yes.
I missed
So-
that. I didn't even notice that, but I'm always bringing a knife, no matter what the occasion is.
So the typical walking staff was slightly taller than the shoulder of the person carrying it, utilizing it. They often had a knob at the top. Some were curved like almost like a shepherd's crook, like
What is it?
that. Some were curved, but not downward, just more of an L shape. The absolute must for every walking stick is that it's strong wood. Most of the extant states that were found were made of elm. It's a handy, strong wood. Alan, what kind did you say we have here?
Well, I've got saplings from my yard, which are all filbert. Any kind of a fruit or nut wood would also be popular.
And the other stack of wood
The other
was,
stack of wood was, I was told it was elm, but I have my doubts.
I have my doubts too. That's just what we were told.
okay.
I just cut elm from the side of the creek this morning.
That would have been mighty green.
It is very green.
Yeah.
But it debarks real easy as a result too.
That's
No,
true.
it doesn't. Isn't it understand that?
His is debarking hers, not so much.
That thing over there.
Oh, well, I'm done with fixing it.
We're going to do a little.
Now, if the people would like,
Pull it towards you slowly.
Pull it towards you slowly, he says. No.
Well, that hurt. Now I'm gonna have blood.
yeah, I'm concerned about
We
it.
got blood.
I got blood too. I got a brand new knife.
You guys are blood buddies.
Baptized now.
Blood buddies.
If you want, you can try what I've done here, which is to loosely tie the stick onto the rail.
I am conveniently on the end of a dead end road with a guardrail. We're going to utilize that rail.
As you twist the stick, it tightens a bit like a
We're
tourniquet.
not supposed to be doing an Inca pilgrimage. Holy crap, woman, what?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Are you okay?
Kat, will you run get us a first aid kit?
Oh.
Does anyone have a napkin?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, sure.
How does mine look?
On her hand.
There. Here, honey.
I don't have Band-Aids.
Lay your knife down.
If I do.
It's a new souvenir knife I have my
Start at
husband
the
had.
top and plug the hole. Just hold it against the hole while
Just
they
put
bring it
pressure
through.
on it, yeah.
All right, we have first blood.
Uh-oh.
That
Is
is
she
the
okay? Are they okay?
Bad.
It's just a tiny poke, but it's bleeding profusely.
Okay.
You don't take
Oh,
aspirin every day, do you?
Yeah,
Denise
No,
got
there you
hers.
go.
low dose aspirin.
Yeah, that thins blood.
Bonnie, Denise got first.
Well, I take
Oh,
blood
Denise,
thinners
Denise,
for
you
my
do it.
blood pressure, so if I cut myself right now, I'd be screwed.
Second blood.
She's second.
really not
But I'm good.
that-
They just bleed so bad.
This is
I really-
a brand new Winchester souvenir knife.
I really,
No,
really should have
buck
brought a
knife.
first aid kit.
Yeah.
My husband is
Silly me. It didn't
very
occur to me
dead
that we would
and
need this. Really silly. Have a garbage bag.
I thought I had four
Lord,
more.
what he's doing,
Have a
what you're
garbage
supposed
bag.
to do with a knife, they're cutting.
It cuts good. Ansel, report to your dad. This cuts good.
That's probably way farther than what I'm doing.
So Alan,
And every time I use.
Catherine has gone for a first aid kit in case we need a little more cleanup.
Yeah, it's annoying.
If you want to continue with what you were explaining over there, Alan, the camera is turned so they can see you, and I will repeat so the volume will be heard.
Just loosely tie the stick to any
Carefully, like.
horizontal rail,
Loosely tie the staff to a horizontal
Yeah, I
rail.
know.
and then you twist it until
Way better.
it gets tight enough that you've got two hands free to carve with.
Twist it until it tightens enough your hand is free so you can use both hands for carving. It makes a nice handy workbench.
You know, usually when they do,
Carve towards yourself.
Well, there is more rope. You're welcome to use the rail over here.
Plenty of rail to go around, and I've got fresh, a lot of paracord.
Bonnie, when they do, known weapons, archery and heavies, sometimes they have to have an incident report because they had to have Band-Aids or something. I never thought about that, Brady. That's nice.
I never
Yeah.
thought of it either until today. So we may have to inquire about that. And you can begin to see why we're not meeting in a park this week.
Oh, yeah.
We are accumulating a pile of,
My
of
lady,
yes. Pile of blood and lots of parts.
my stick has, some, bumps here and there. I'm having trouble smoothing those out. What should I do?
Say that again. Your stick.
Has some, like bumps here and there.
Hey, you're gonna want to cut those off.
I'm having trouble smoothing those out. How do I go about doing that?
You can use a pair of clippers, like yard clippers, to make them really short. And then you could cut them off with a knife. Denise has been cutting hers off with a
I
knife.
did bring a sawzall.
I'll probably have to wait until I
Sawzall
can
is here.
take this to my parents' house because my mom's got clippers.
And you can
Trick you can
also
do.
use sandpaper to really make it
This is-
smooth.
Use your
Did you
thumb
get Mama
and
Band-Aid?
push it that way.
Again, something my mom has that I don't.
more controlled. It's
Katie
like
gave me a
license,
Band-Aid.
no places like into-
I've also seen images where
Yeah.
some folk left a bit of a Y at the top of the pole, and they utilize that Y to carry things. Look at this pole. I don't know if that's clear enough for you to see how many points there are on the end of that staff.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah. So
That
there's
is
lots of
really
options.
cool.
This one's Madrone.
Oh, Madrone's a good. Yeah.
Wizard staff.
Look at that. Isn't that cool?
No.
Okay.
They have like a fork stick, fork at the end of it. Sometimes they would just cut a split in the end of the stick, and that would be used for messengers. And you put the envelope on the end of the stick so that you can, especially if you're on horseback, and it's time to trade off, you can just hand the stick with the envelope on it to the next rider, who can very quickly grab the stick and the envelope, and away they go. If you have a stick that has a fork on it, it's very useful if you notice there's spider webs in the way or something. There are slithery things on the ground that you don't want to kill because you're on a pilgrimage, remember. But with a fork stick, you can certainly encourage any slithers to go slithering elsewhere.
No, I'm trying
And
to
you
get the
can
little
always
things
use it
off.
to hold up one end of your tent, your bridge pole for your
That
tent.
other one's broke
So
anyway. They
having a
didn't do a
fork
good
on the
job
end
of
of the stick
killing, saving it.
has its uses.
Very useful. Were you able to hear that online?
Hopefully no one loses it.
Only half of it.
Yeah, he said having a stick with a split at the end is useful. If you're perhaps carrying messages, you can slide that message in the split of the stick.
Oh,
And they
wow.
might be riding by horseback and pass the stick to the next rider for the next leg of the journey. Or if you have a fork at the end of your stick, like we just looked at, you could use it to move slithery things off the path,
Like snakes.
like, yes, slithery snakes, or hold up the corner of your tent pole.
That's why you're in Ireland.
So let's get a
We've
little
got an
con-
Irishman back there saying, go to Ireland, there's no snakes there.
Yeah,
Why either?
For real?
we can thank St. Patrick for that.
Well,
Yeah.
except at the zoo. Yeah.
Okay, I think this is really cool. I'm gonna see if I can get a picture of this. Can you see the end of her staff? Would you mind
Yes.
bringing it over this way and showing the end of your staff? You got to see this wonderful method she's using for removing the bark.
Ooh. And me with that Swiss Army knife.
Look at that. Isn't that cool?
Oh, that is beyond cool.
That is cool.
That definitely looks effective.
And that's just using an SCA garb knife, a decorative knife. No? Hunting? Carving knife, excuse me. Shows what I know. Back here, we have a very efficient Irishman that's already completely debarked his and is now smoothing it out very fast.
All right, so let's get a little context on this. Now, anyone who has taken a pilgrimage, obviously they could walk quite well. Why did they need a stick?
Because some of their walks for 500 miles. And you get kind of tired. And a walking stick is nice on an uneven path. They weren't walking on paved roadways like we will.
That's true. I'm gonna walk 500.
I have to look for a forked stick. I like the fork.
The peanut gallery behind me said
Have you
she's
been to Bend?
seen their paved roadways too. They aren't that wonderful.
There was a joke in Bend that the drunk drivers were the ones who were driving straight.
I have to agree about the forked part, a multi-purpose tool.
But Bend, because they have to salt it. and it's-
As I'm doing research on pilgrimages, I found some wonderful sites,
Well, it gets it.
and I posted a link to a video last week. I hope you got a chance to see it. It was under the barony of Adiantum,
I did. It was wonderful.
It was, yes, it
It
was.
was
I
really
didn't
great.
see it yet. I didn't see it yet. Where's the
Done
link?
by a group in England.
I
And
haven't
think
seen
their
it either,
their
so,
trip was 4 days long.
wow.
And it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Yeah, I
Another
wish I
one
could
that
have
I-
gone on that one. That was great.
Yeah, you really should take time to go look for it. I
Yeah.
might even put the link for it under this event after tonight.
My dad's
Thank
attitude
you.
about it always was like.
There
I'm gonna
was,
kick your ass.
another one that I found. It's a gentleman in London that I've been following. He rides a penny farthing, which is the bicycles with the giant wheel at the back.
Yeah,
And he does a lot of public service work. He goes on pilgrimage a lot. And when he does, he raises funds for the underprivileged and the homeless. And he's just now beginning a pilgrimage on his penny farthing. And if you are a fan of Monty Python, you will appreciate that he has mounted a pair of coconut hulls on the front of his penny farthing so that he can replicate the sound of horses as he goes on his pilgrimage.
Oh, I hadn't gotten that. Now I get it. Oh, that's so funny.
But
Yeah, my stepdad's a Monty Python fan. He'll love to hear about that.
yeah,
brilliant, just brilliant.
I really appreciate a lot of his posts because he does do wonderful research before
Who is
he
this guy?
undertakes something. Pardon?
Who is this guy?
I will have to dig in my phone and find his name. He's in England. And I'll post a link to that under this event. Ellen is on her way. Yay.
How's it looking?
Most of it.
Mama, do you need help?
No,
She's even stopped bleeding.
Finally.
Well, hopefully it's not because she ran out.
You could hear that, huh?
no,
All
they
right, so how's my stick looking?
might have been, it was about that long. They covered it. When it got covered, it quit running down my arm.
Just put a flesh wound.
Yeah.
Ellen says, just been a flesh wound.
You can hear him in the background.
Same place?
No, she got it on her
I
hand.
just poked it when I pushed it.
Yes,
Okay,
I knew
The
you got it
jokes
on
are
your
getting
hand.
bad here. Angela poked herself.
I didn't poke myself.
Oh, sorry.
Denise did it
Denise
on the
poked herself. And they said, Denise, did you poke yourself in the same place I poked myself? And bless his heart. We love him. He says, no, she poked her own hand. Give it a minute, you'll get it.
Bless his heart.
I just poked myself. Oh, no.
Too much talk.
We've been to North Carolina.
Yeah.
Too much talk of poking hands. We have to change the subject. It's bringing up bad ideas on people. I heard, ow, I poked myself.
Hmm.
But blood, burp, band-aids, and bad jokes. I think we have to have a silk song about this event.
Yeah. Well, bad jokes is everything.
Let's see.
Anywhere he goes. Are bad jokes.
Many.
Blood, burp, band-aids, and bad
Yeah, I
jokes.
know you're supposed to blood your relationship.
If only there was a Star Wars theme we could put to that theme.
Guess so.
I didn't blood my blade. I just blooded my finger.
Oh, look at this. He has his completely shaved clean.
Oh, my.
Very
Mine's
carefully.
taken too long.
Now you want to check for slivers because that would be a most unpleasant thing to find as we're walking.
Yeah, that's what I was doing, but I think I need to run
And
sand.
don't poke yourself with
Yeah.
a stick. You might get a staph infection.
Yes.
Oh.
Comedian, isn't
But it's
he?
only a quarter infection.
Rickard is rolling tonight, folks. He said, don't poke yourself with a stick. You might get a staph infection.
It came through loud and clear.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Well, there's a reason why that's strictly a wrist motion.
They taught me in Girl Scouts never to do that.
Don't get bloody, cut towards your buddy.
Oh, okay, back here we have don't get bloody, cut toward your buddy. Things are deteriorating in a wonderful kind of way.
I have no buddies.
I ain't got nobody.
All right.
Get you that.
How's it looking?
My fingers are showing.
Very nice.
I already drank all of it.
Hands are getting tired from work. And then there's where our web minister with her phone, because she is after all the web minister. Dad, how are you doing back there? You're way back by yourself. We can't see you.
I think he's just pulling the slivers off now, aren't you?
Awesome. Great progress.
If you're out to sea, they'd appreciate it.
I dislocated my finger at West Coronation. Fun, but
How did you dislocate a finger at a coronation? Sparring. Are we talking fisticuffs or?
No. One of the mods wanted to give me a better showing of how he played.
So how was coronation?
He got a really solid hit right on the finger, dislocated. It was pretty epic.
Oh.
How
Not even
was
a
coronation?
it's a good trade, huh? I don't know, Ellen, we weren't, Michelle, we weren't at coronation, but I can ask the gentleman with the dislocated finger, how was coronation?
Amazing. It was one of the best I've ever been to.
You get that?
Oh, yes.
It's amazing, one of the best he's ever been to. Just to make us all feel bad that we didn't go.
And the new King of the West is awesome.
Got that?
Heard that.
The West is awesome, but he's not our king.
He's not.
Our
Yeah,
king.
I bet the King of the West won't show up at 12th night like our Queen of Vontier.
Which is
Okay.
amazing.
I got to repeat this. It's worth saying. He said the King of the West, the new King of the West, did stop court to make sure that everyone was aware the event was being held on native land and they should respect that.
Nice.
That's cool.
That's epic.
That's very cool.
Yes. Kind of.
I can't tell you how cool that is because I'll tell you one thing. It's like every
Going renovation, so it was like kind of like a trailer park behind the casino.
And I'll tell you one thing,
Originally, it was
colleges in Oregon, I don't know if it's just in Oregon, but at least the college classes I've been taking the past couple of years, they have the professors have always taken time to remind us that we are on native land and you gotta respect that. It's
And I bet a brain too.
Does that make him Kendrick?
Are you
and I
not
always
making
want to apologize for it because it's
Right.
like
Too late for that, I'm afraid.
no, I'm in a walking stick.
I'm going to make one, but not tonight because
it's
I'm
like the
doing
ones
this.
who took
I
over
don't
the
know
California
about your
land,
I don't either, apparently.
their lives hell.
It's missing in action.
Is it? Oh,
Mom's just using a knife and not that little thing that Alan had. She's done almost all of it.
I'm going to remind you all that there is 10 pounds of ice in the ice water over here, and you should be drinking ice because it's 90 something out here.
It was 94 when I left the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my apartment doesn't have air conditioning, so I understand.
Did you put blood on your stick to make
I
it?
can advise you on how to do it.
Now the question is, has the blood been applied to the stick for
it didn't run off my
proper
arm.
initiation?
When it got to my elbow, it might have dripped down, but it didn't get off my arm.
Again, this
Can you
is not
direct-
an Incan pilgrimage.
Do it quickly.
There
they
will be
can't
no
park
human
there.
sacrifice.
Aw.
Fun.
They can turn around and park behind
All the human
us.
sacrifices are happening right now as everybody's cutting themselves.
Human sacrifices, no, no sacrifices.
like human self-sacrifice.
No, not even that. It would give
Yeah,
us a
I
better-
thought we stopped doing human sacrifices with the fall of the Aztec Empire.
yeah, that's
Wrong
the
continent.
wrong domain.
They can
Yep.
park behind the truck though, right?
Yes, yes. But they can park up here too.
Where you want it. Yeah. All the fuel stuff has already gone off. So it's basically
You're saying you want a big stick, not a whittle stick?
a whittle. Yeah. No whittle stick. You get them whittle.
So techie guru person.
How involved in the carving would they have done for decorations on a walking stick?
Say that once more.
How involved would the carving of a walking stick be embellished with?
I have seen a couple of examples that they used. In fact, the one that's on the image for this event has the vestiges of a beautiful geometric pattern that they carved into the full length of that stick.
Okay.
Some were left plain.
Hmm.
Getting closer.
Okay.
So you can be creative. We are, after all, a society for creative anachronism.
Anachronism, right, right. Looks like there's a couple people doing some really good progress on their sticks there.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to do this.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
definitely an
Alright.
outdoor thing.
That's okay. I've been.
She looks like she's got a trident over here.
Yeah. Very cool.
A polydent, okay. And these are like pretty much finished. They're just in the back here, finding the edge, making sure there are no splinters left. This has a lot of little nubbies to be removed. Do you want the yard clippers to take those off? Maybe if they work. Do we know where they went? They're up
Right
here.
there.
Okay,
Is that what you're looking for?
There's one in the back there that's almost finished.
all right, progress feedback.
I think he wants your
Right here.
notes out.
We're asking about how to take off the. Oh, that
Sorry.
is good. Looking good.
Okay, I
think so.
So we're
I'll do
gonna
a bit of,
take off some of these little.
What?
Did we just see or you had it?
I don't know.
Okay.
Dad, how much time are we likely to have left on our recording? Or where do I check?
You have 40 minutes from the last, from when it started.
Yeah, I don't know
How's your
where
vacation?
to check that on here.
It was fine. It's always a little weird.
Okay, well, right now you have an hour left.
Oh, it lied to us
Oh,
then.
that's where they've always lived since you were younger.
We're good.
Yeah, I
Yay.
was born in that town.
Oh.
We won't run out after all.
Oh, you might. Sometimes it goes a lot longer.
so what would be a suitable clothing for pilgrimage?
Okay, if you look at those links I've been posting, the video that I posted and the pictures that are on each event for the preparations for the pilgrimage, you'll see that there is kind of almost a uniform that was worn by the majority of them.
We'll have lunch. And then we'll go back to meet you guys
Nope.
for the weekend.
All right.
I'm going to
How
turn
many have it left?
this.
Emily has an
That's looking pretty good.
Like, you know,
This is the basis for the hat. It's a felt hat. The brim was turned up. When we begin our pilgrimage, every pilgrim will receive their
Hat?
I'm thinking of the shell. What is the name of the shell? Scallop shell. They will receive their scallop shell. Often the scallop shell then was attached to the front of the hat here. Sometimes it was hung from the walking stick or the cloak. I think if you hang things from your walking stick, they're going to break.
So
They
how
also,
do I make one of those hats?
I do not know that. But if you go on YouTube, you can learn how. And I might be able to get someone to come teach us one day, but we didn't have time to do it all. It is made of felt, and felt is steamed and shaped. That's the most I can tell you.
Alright,
Okay, someone tells me you can do it with mushrooms, and I'm really confused.
Mom
What?
made a hat out of mushrooms.
How do you make a hat of mushroom?
It
Like
was
paper
nice
mache?
seeing you all again, but I've got to go. And thank you for the wonderful information. It's been very
So it's a little like
informative.
making paper out of fungus. Yeah, that would dissolve in the rain, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to go this evening. Thank you.
alright.
I'm here. Bye, Ellen.
Bye. See you soon.
Had these long saws that one person was on each end of saw.
Yay.
It had the hat.
Trees.
It had a cloak,
And,
depending on the weather of the season they were walking.
Ah,
What, Michelle?
I just have to work out my
Oh, okay.
because I've been gripping onto this for so long to whittle it. They should
So-
never have taught me how to whittle a roasting stick at Girl Scout camp. Cause now I know how to do it.
Oh,
And
my
that's
God.
how it's transferred onto making a stick.
So you wanted to know about what other clothes they wore. So let me
Yes.
continue. They had a cloak. They wore typical clothing, their best, sturdiest leather shoes, not necessarily best, but sturdiest.
modesty is encouraged.
Alan says modesty was encouraged, but not enforced, depending on how warm the weather was.
Now, if you're talking about your Hajj to Mecca, that is enforced. Everybody is supposed to dress alike, regardless of your social position. The whole point of being on the Muslim pilgrimage is we're all one, we all dress the same. Pretty much unisex as well. So of course, you will get the pilgrim that insists on dressing very modestly and so, but no, everybody's supposed to be dressed as modestly as can be.
So there's your information on the Hajj, yet another style of pilgrimage.
So I could just be wearing shorts and a t-shirt as long as I'm wearing the rest of it.
Now, we're going in garb. This is your heads up. You may be on television.
Really?
Yeah, really. We're doing a medieval pilgrimage. Please come in garb. That's why we're making the shoes and the staves and the pouches. Please come in garb. The whole idea is to make it
Okay.
as authentic as we can so we can experience what they might have experienced.
So I'm having trouble finding a YouTube video for the pilgrimage hat.
I will send it to you.
Or the flag.
I thank you.
Cutting my knots off with a baby saw.
Yeah, we don't need that either.
You need to keep a track.
Grandma says that.
Almost done.
You have 26 minutes.
Okay, so we've got about 25 minutes left on our video.
I need to stop way before that.
And my techie guru says I've got 20 minutes.
All right. So would you pretty much say that my walking staff is ready?
Okay, your walking staff is ready when you think it's ready. You want to make sure it's not going to give you slivers, that it's not going to cause blisters on your hand from bumps on it where you're going to be grabbing it.
Oh, yes.
You want the bottom to be fairly level, because if it's an uneven or pointy end, that's going to cause you to slip when you put it down and put your weight on it. That's not necessarily just a medieval thing. That's anytime you're out walking with a stick.
Yeah. I might have to show this to my stepdad. He knows a bit of woodworking. So if there's I am having a little trouble smoothing out a few things, so I might have to try and get him to help.
That's a great idea. Yeah, if you need to rely on someone with more experience, please do that. Honora, would you mind coming over this way for a moment? I'm sorry that Catherine left. I wanted to do this before she left. For those that don't know, Honora is now the archery, pardon? Grand champion. Alan, will you give me your title?
Oh,
Oh, he's making me.
congratulations.
Okay, Mother, what's the title?
She is the youth archery champion of Terra Primaria.
The youth archery champion of Terra Primaria.
Well, congratulations.
That occurred at the long and short of it. And Catherine is our web minister. And she also loves to do all the things. And she has made you a bit of a gift in recognition of your achievement. So go ahead and open that. She ran away. Catherine made
What'd you
those.
get? What'd you get, sweetie? Oh my
She made
God,
those two large beads.
that's awesome.
Lift it out. She wanted you to have something to remember your achievement by. So those 3 large beads were handmade by Catherine of the Lakes.
I am often envious of anyone who can make largest because
Catherine made
I'm
it.
not very good at it.
So congratulations on that achievement. We're all very proud of you.
Oh yeah.
I'd like to call you ours, even though you're Terra Primaria's champion. That's right. Yay.
We can share. We can share.
Hostile takeover. I like it. It was what?
An armed takeover.
It was an armed hostile takeover, yes.
With her bow and my
Pretty impressive.
Hey,
Okay. So does
that's
anyone
all
have
pretty much all I can do for now.
any other questions about the walking sticks for tonight? Oh, Alan, I love your foolish comments. Give us a foolish comment.
Today, walking sticks are so important. One of the most famous current pilgrimages is to Camino de Compostela in northern Spain. And there's a special service if you've completed this pilgrimage and you want to send your walking staff home. The people who organize it say, oh yeah, we do that all the time because you don't want to leave your stick here in Spain. So we will just help you mail it home so that you can have it as a souvenir, something to remember your sacred journey with.
That's pretty cool.
But you're a stickler for postage.
Yes, well.
Oh,
So when is
Mark God
this
says they're a
pilgrimage?
stickler for postage. Oh my goodness.
You probably wouldn't be able to fit it overhead.
Would not fit in the overhead compartment, Alan says, if you're flying back.
So
So
when is this pilgrimage?
September 24th, it's on the website. And if you show up on time to walk with us, we'll go as a group. If you're late, we'll leave without you. There will be occasional marks along the path to make sure we're going the right direction. At each of our stops, all pilgrims will receive a pilgrim's badge. And those could be hung on your walking stick for posterity if you're of a mind, or your hat if you've made one, or your pouch. You will have a passport that you're given at the beginning of the pilgrimage, and that will be stamped at each stop. So you'll have plenty of souvenirs from the event.
Oh, man.
Any other questions about walking sticks tonight? I think I'm going to wrap up the recording. And we all want Michelle to go get a nice cold drink of water. She's got the hiccups. And a teaspoon of sugar, they say. Okay. I'm going to call my techie guru back out here. Uh-oh.
I get myself
bloody
sometimes.
stems.
Third casualty.
Will you pass these stems? The wipes and the Band-Aid. Wipe first for sanitation.
I cut myself.
Yeah,
Duh.
you're the third one. She was waiting for three. My mother-in-law always said things happen in threes.
Now there it is. We're done now with this, right? No more owies.
Now, if you were at a practice, you know, heavies or rapier archery or something, you have to have a report because you have a Band-Aid.
Well, we may have to have a report if we continue behaving like this.
So once you get all of the bark off of your stick,
Yeah,
then you don't do anything with
The
it?
jokes are supposed to be painful enough, people.
So once you've got all the bark off your stick, you want to make sure that you've got all the little owies off of it, all the little splinters and nubbins that might cause you pain on the walk. You want to make sure that the bottom of it is not going to be slippy. It's pretty level. If you want to, you could drill a hole through it with the tip of your knife so you can tie a thong to it, making it easy to carry. Alan.
Yes, if you want to,
An old-fashioned one, not the new kind.
if you want to have a nice sanded finish on it,
That would be weird.
I would take a roll of duct tape and put the duct tape over the flat paper back of your sandpaper and then trim it. And then what you have then is a flexible, strong strip of sandpaper that you could work on either side of the stick.
Like a manually operated band sander.
Yeah,
Kind of.
if you will, yeah. But yeah, if you just use the sandpaper alone, it's got paper backing and it's not going to last very long. But if you put duct tape on it first and then cut it into a strip, then you've got something that's flexible and pretty darn strong. And you should be able to use that as a sanding tool.
Thank you. That's awesome. That's good advice. Okay, so for those of you online, I'm going to end the recording. And this will be available for those later to watch. It'll be attached to this event. It'll take us a day or two to get that on there. So, ending recording.